Brighten up those already bright mornings. Wheeler, Ollie, and Lekter. Mornings at the Cabin.
Good morning. Welcome to Mornings at the Cabin. It's a beautiful, crisp, middle of May morning. What is going? It's -3 right now. There was a little snow in the air this morning. I had to calm myself down. I sat down. I listened to the music. Randy's going off about something. You never know what's going on with this guy.
In the words of the great Jay Sherman, it stinks.
It stinks.
Yes, Mr. Sherman. Everything stinks.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is this? -3.
I don't know. This is not. I mean, I don't think it's unusual. This is the thing. We have to get in touch with friend of the show, Matt Voitila, who is a self-professed weather nerd.
Yes.
And he will share with us what the coldest day was. Like, is this the coldest May 15th we've ever had?
Probably not.
Probably not. Right? But it's not great.
No, it could be better. I've just been wearing a hoodie out of just obstinance and stubbornness.
Out of spite?
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much. No, I'm going to freeze because it's supposed to be nicer than this.
That's right.
And that's
what's
going to happen.
Are you really cold? I mean, that looks like a pretty nice hoodie.
It was cold when I was outside. I'm fine now.
You're good now.
Cozy in the cabin.
Okay, yeah, absolutely cozy in the cabin, as it always is, as the walls are just completely sealed with tree sap.
Mornings at the Cabin, the podcast.
You have some very exciting things going on today, or an exciting
just
thing.
One exciting
just
thing.
one exciting thing.
Yeah.
Well, there's a few things to go with it, right? The pain.
Me?
The pain is exciting.
The anguish.
The anguish. The anticipation. These are all good things. You're gonna get a tattoo today, bud.
Yeah, big tattoo day. Super excited.
Is it a big tattoo?
No,
Oh.
it's about I'm going for a softball size.
Softball size?
Yeah.
Like a goiter?
A goiter.
Goiter size tattoo?
Sure.
Right here.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Oh, it's so huge.
Little tea plate for something a little more pleasant.
What are you getting?
So I'm adding to what is now becoming my, I don't know why I keep looking at my arm, because it's just...
Well, because that's where the tattoo's going.
That is where the tattoo's going. Not that it's any indication to anyone listening. But yes, I'm adding to what is quickly becoming my Simpsons sleeve.
Your Sim sleeve.
With a little design. I'm looking at it again. I can't stop for some reason.
I think that's a natural thing. Like, I've got 2 tattoos, one on each upper arm, and they're like, you mentioned you have tattoos or whatever, and people are like, oh, where are they? And you look at them, you don't point at them, you look at your arm.
It's not there because I'm wearing a hoodie.
I need to get my stuff updated, man. I need to get some new
one
ink.
of them anyway.
Well, one of them.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean both. I can't. The one on my left arm is really stupid, but but I'm gonna keep it because I got it at the same time as my dad. So he got a tattoo and I got a tattoo. We got them at the same time. So what I'm gonna do is probably get the one he got right below it as a tribute.
Yes,
and then maybe just cover the whole thing up. That way I know it's always there, but no one can see it. And
That's
then the other one I got when I was a pretentious theater school student.
Right.
And
cover that one up.
Still pretentious.
Okay, just leave it, I guess.
Still pretentious. Just not a theater student anymore. No, I like it. It's just like I look at it now. It's like, oh, you were 20. Ugh.
Yeah.
And you thought this was deep. And then I saw like a parody video about douchebags, and one of them had the guy showed his arm, and he was like, he had the same tattoo.
Oh no!
I was like, oh no, oh no.
Thank God you held off on that the tribal barbed wire whatever tattoo, eh?
That does not denote the tribe I belong to.
No,
it does not. So I can't get that. Okay, but you're getting it's turning into your Simps arm, your Simp sleeve. And you've already got Bobo, which is adorable and really well done as well. I mean, that's the good thing about the Simpsons characters. They've got they're fairly well defined lines, and they're kind of adorable to draw.
Yeah, and I've been trying to think of things that were a little outside the lines, not just Homer standing there looking stupid, for a tattoo because,
Nobody
like,
has
well,
that.
that's not great. But the nice thing about The Simpsons is that there's years and years worth of like deep cut references that you can throw in there. So yeah, I've got the flying hellfish tattoo on my shoulder.
Yes, you do.
Of course, Grandpa Simpson's World War II corpse. His group there.
Oh my god!
So I got that. That was the first tattoo
His
I ever
corpse.
got. Not that.
His core.
Not that kind of corpse.
His core. His army core.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Corpse.
So that was the first one I ever got. And I always knew that was going to be the first one I ever got.
Yeah.
The second I saw that episode, I was like, yeah.
That's it.
Getting that tattoo.
When you were like 7. You're like, that's the one.
Yeah.
That episode came out like 1997.
Yeah, so I would have
like
been
11?
I would have been 11.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, already.
That's the one.
That's the one.
All right, tell us about the others. Oh, I mentioned Bobo. So
well, then, I got Bobo, which is, of course, Mr. Burns' childhood bear.
Yeah.
Of course, in his later state where he is ripped and torn to shreds.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so the next one, I actually had the idea for it probably about a year ago now, and have just been waiting for the right time to get it. Yeah, that's right.
That's right. Becoming a worldly man.
Inspiration all around me.
Inspiration all around me. So I'm going to get a Simpsons character on my arm.
As we walked to Blarney in Ireland on a lovely day.
I bet.
And and I had the idea that, you know what? I'm going to get a Raven Bart tattoo.
Which is
And if
awesome.
someone doesn't know what that's referring to,
you can go to hell.
You need to reacquaint yourself. Reacquaint yourself with the Simpsons the Simpsons Halloween specials. It's from the very first Simpsons Halloween special.
It's from the what is it?
Well, they do the Edgar Allan Poe the Raven parody. Yes.
What's the part the Raven from?
What?
It's from that Poe story, The Door. Oh God. No, it's from the Raven. He looks and it's
Telltale Heart.
It's such a cool they make him into a Raven so well.
Yeah,
and it's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
I like it. I like the idea.
So I'm tying it in a little bit with the Bobo tattoo because he's going to be flying away and like pulling a thread from Bobo, being a rascal.
Oh, being a rascal,
as Bart did from time to time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I'm pretty excited about that. Going to head down to Cryosphere this afternoon, see Trevor.
Yeah,
and Trevor is, when I brought the idea in, I sketched like a rough idea out myself and brought it on to him and was just like, this is what I'm looking for. If you can improve on it in any way, which I'm sure you can because you're a way better artist than I am.
you sketched it. Why didn't you just grab it off the Google?
Well, because I didn't have like a screenshot, like a perfect screenshot of like the position I wanted him in. So,
okay, because he's going to be like kind of flying away.
Yeah, he's going to be flying away in a certain way. And you know what? I'm starting to make a point of doing this with my tattoos, like designing them myself, actually.
Oh.
I did the same thing with the Bobo tattoo because I just, didn't have, there was no screenshot from the episode where I was like, yeah, that's the exact image I want. So I kind of took a couple different ones and put them together into the position that I wanted him to be in. And then the guy who I gave it to is just like, let's do something completely different. Like, no, okay.
No.
I have to walk you through this. Trevor's a Simpsons fan though, so he was super pumped when I brought it in, and I think he's pretty excited to do it. So awesome. If he's excited, I'm excited.
Free mensch for Cryosphere tattoo.
Absolutely.
Well done. We got to do that video. Okay, well, I'm very excited for you, and I do appreciate the fact that your tattoos have literally no meaning.
Well, speaking of that video and
no
tattoos.
spirituality or like nature centric anything. It's just I like this.
Well, it kind of is. I mean, I'm living in the north now with ravens all around me. If you need to make a tie to something,
if you have to make a tie to something. There it is.
There it is.
A tenuous connection.
You were talking a couple of weeks ago because we've been talking to Trevor at Cryosphere about you getting in there.
I'm gonna get in
and
there.
Getting a tattoo.
Yep.
And you were saying that you've been getting some flack about it.
Of course. Yeah, I got some flack about it from your partner, as a matter of
fact.
From
my partner!
From your partner, as a matter of fact, and someone else as well. Another person. I can't remember who it was, but they were just like, I guess, if that's what you want to do. I was like, I'm sorry. This is like partially my company, and this is one of the cooler things I've ever done with my life. So I'm going to get it on my body.
So you're going to get a little cabin logo.
I'm going to get the cabin icon. I don't know where, though, because I've got... I don't know where.
It's always it's one of the toughest parts.
Because, I mean, Adam was just like, get it on your butt. And I'm like, I'm not going to get it on my butt.
You didn't lose a bet.
maybe on my shin, but I'm thinking like, inner arm on the forearm.
Yeah, I feel like the first place you said was upper forearm, and on the inside.
Yeah,
and
I like that.
Yeah, that's a good spot.
Start showing this off and just get a whole sleeve.
Yeah.
I'm really starting to get into
Well, I'm behind you, bud.
Thanks, buddy.
Screw the rest of them.
Yeah.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast. Hey, it was early. What do you want from us?
So Bill Nye, we grew up with Bill Nye, and he was always just kind of a silly, not as wacky as Beekman. Did you ever see Beekman's World?
Beekman, no.
You ever saw Beekman's World back in the day? Oh, Beekman's World was great.
Oh, I never even heard of that.
And he was kind of geared towards the same kids, but a lot sillier. And he would do like experiments. And there was a guy dressed as a rat, and there was a girl that reminded me so much of my sister,
like a lab rat.
Well, kind of, yeah. But he was like a Brooklyn rat, so he talked like this and all that, And so Beekman's World was kick ass.
Okay,
I actually was more into Beekman's World than I was into Bill Nye.
Okay,
Bill Nye, also geared towards kids, was kind of silly, but not as silly.
Yeah.
So as we grew up, obviously Bill Nye kind of stopped being around, but we brought him back, as we do in our adult years. We bring this generation of people just bring back everything that they had when they were kids.
We can't move on.
It wasn't young people that brought Bill Nye back. It was like people in their mid-30s going, you know what? I really like Bill Nye.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring him back.
That's right.
And then he came back, did an episode on transgender issues, and was like roundly beat back by people who were like, you ruined my childhood. It's like, no, he didn't. Anyway, he has taken some of that energy and has channeled it back towards us again when talking about climate change.
Yes.
Because apparently this is still a matter of conjecture as to whether or not there's some weird things going on with the planet. There is.
Right.
Yeah, but there's still arguments as to whether or not we're responsible for it. It doesn't matter if we are. If we can do something to mitigate some of these effects, then we should do it.
Right.
Right?
We're trying to live on this thing.
This thing we call the planet.
Yeah.
This thing we called Earth. Terra.
And we'd like to stay here.
I don't know. Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk are like, let's go to the moon. Everyone's like, yeah, that's a great idea. It's like, no. Not you guys. We're gonna go.
Us.
We're gonna go to the moon.
Yeah.
Like, where do you think people are gonna go when the planet like actually starts burning? Because it will eventually. And I mean, I'm a cynic at heart, but and this is maybe not morning show material, but a revolution is coming, and
is it?
We're gonna eat the rich.
Well, you say you want a revolution. Jesse, we all love to change the world.
Yeah. Okay, keep going. So Bill Nye, this is a video that was released, I think, this week, and he just kind of goes off completely.
Yeah,
and is decidedly kind of not for kids on this one. So we wanted to play a little clip of this, just so you get a little reminder and maybe a taste of the new Bill Nye
radio-friendly version.
Yeah.
Safety glasses on. By the end of this century, if emissions keep rising, the average temperature on Earth could go up another 4 to 8 degrees.
Well, that doesn't
What
sound
I'm
that bad.
saying is the planet's on fire.
Oh.
There are a lot of things
And there
that
it
would
goes.
put it out. Are any of them free? No, of course not. Nothing's free, you idiots. Grow the up. You're not children anymore. I didn't mind explaining photosynthesis to you when you were 12, but you're adults now, and this is an actual crisis. Got it? Safety glasses off, mother.
Why are they laughing?
Well, because they don't expect it to come from him.
But he's telling you serious stuff.
And I have friends in my head right now. He's just using emotion and to propagandize blah blah blah. It's like, sure, whatever you want to believe, man. Let's just not do anything.
How dare he get emotional about science?
Absolutely,
He's a science
guy. He's
guy.
not really a scientist. Blah blah blah. Someone's gonna tell him to stay in his lane, and then,
That's right.
And then like actual climatologists will come in and it's like, no, that's pretty accurate. And they'll be like, well, you don't really know what you're talking about. The science is really up for debate. It's like, it's really not though. We're the scientists that kind of frame that debate. It's like, well, I'll just wait for experts to weigh in on it.
I wish he wouldn't use hyperbole to make his point. We can have a real conversation about science.
That's right. Hyperbole is a slippery slope,
Right.
which is totally not a logical fallacy, by the way.
And that's the difference between a scientist and a science guy.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
A scientist has the facts. A science guy is just making those facts entertaining and throwing them in your face.
And digestible.
That's right.
Because we wouldn't,
I'm
scientists
not
can lose
reading a
interest in.
500-page report on climate change.
No, nobody is.
I want Bill Nye to light a globe on fire and call me an MFer. That's what I want. That's how I like my science Served to me with swear words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll read a 500-page report about election fraud, but not about climate science.
No, I won't. I don't think I'll read that either.
Oh, you didn't read that?
The 500 pages?
Oh, it was thrilling.
It was not.
I didn't read it.
If it was framed as like a Tom Clancy novel and like Jack Ryan was in there or something like that, maybe.
You gotta,
Maybe.
you gotta use your imagination.
Like Harrison Ford, like grabbing a piece of paper. Where's my family? Where's my family? Is it these? How much money did you donate to this campaign? That kind of thing. That'd be funny. That'd be good. I'd read that.
Where is she, Mueller? I told you, Harrison Ford, you're not talking to your wife until you give me some answers.
Harrison Ford's always looking for his family.
How did he get involved in that?
I don't know. Because he was Jack Ryan.
Oh, I
Back
thought
in the
you
day.
meant in real life.
Yeah, Patriot Games, Clear and Present Danger.
Right.
He took over for Alec Baldwin, who was Jack Ryan in Red Hot American Summer. No, for Red October. And then Ben Affleck took over. And now it's John Krasinski. So,
Oh, hey.
there you go.
Well,
We've come full circle.
All right.
All right. Well, if you're not going to listen to Bill Nye, I don't know who you're going to listen to, really.
Cabin Radio's Morning Show podcast. All the best chat, none of the embarrassing mistakes.
Wednesday? Is it Wednesday?
It's Wednesday.
Wednesday's hump day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that
For
too.
most people. I have to work.
Not for you. Yeah, we've been through this. Yeah.
We've been through this so many times. But we have some special guests in the audience. No, in the studio this morning. There is another burlesque show coming up this weekend. Yellowknife has quickly become a hotbed for all things burlesque. Parkas and Pasties Burlesque presenting Soulful Bodies, a live music cabaret experience this weekend at the Top Night, Friday and Saturday. Tickets still available, and we have McLeod in the studio, and also the headliner for this weekend, Champagne Sparkles. Welcome.
Good morning.
Wow.
Good morning. I'm not sure where does that hello come from you?
Yes.
That was a little odd.
Hello.
Hello, thank you. Champagne, first of all, awesome name. I love your name. And you are visiting from Victoria, is that right?
That's right.
All right, and you've been doing this for a long time. You've been shaking it around the globe for
13
quite
years.
for 13 years.
Wow.
And you're going to be doing some workshops this week as well.
Yes, absolutely. I am teaching characters and storytelling.
Yes.
So great for performers that like to tell a story on stage and also get that gig
Yes.
and be asked back.
Oh, good. That is repeat business is always good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so 80. Tell us a little bit more about Parkas and Pasties. This is the third show that Parkas and Pasties has done, but the second, Soulful Bodies.
Yes.
Yes. So tell us a little bit more about this show. It's local performers, but of course, Champagne Sparkles is here as well. Are there other performers that are on from here?
Are there other performers in the show from here?
No, not from here.
Oh, no. Champagne is our only visitor.
Okay.
So what we wanted to do with Parkas and Pasties is we wanted to kind of create an environment for performer growth.
Okay.
As well as collaboration between different art forms. So I was very lucky that one of my best friends, Andrew Jossa, was game to co-produce Soulful Bodies with me last year. He's a wonderful jazz piano player and our musical director for the project. And we had so much fun last year. He was happy to come back this year. So getting that live music energy backing our burlesque performers is something that's new to Yellowknife, and that's something really special. And then having mostly local performers and then bringing up a headliner who's also an educator, so we can help all of our performers have the opportunity to take our workshops as kind of a thank you for being in our production. So, offering them a little piece of education. And we also do some development one-on-ones just to help push their performance to the next level.
And even for like the most experienced performers, performing with a live band offers that another layer, right? Another challenge.
Oh, totally. There's another level of the unknown, which kind of makes it scary, but also so much more fun.
Absolutely. It's going to be a lot of fun. Champagne, so you're coming in from Victoria. How did you two meet?
We met in Vancouver.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we must have met at the Vancouver Burlesque Festival at some point.
Yeah.
Okay. And have you worked together before? This is the first time you collaborate?
We've been in shows together.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
We haven't been in each other's shows before.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
So you're going to be, you're headlining or you're performing as well this weekend.
Yes.
What can somebody expect from your show?
Glitter,
Yes.
glamour,
Yes.
giggles.
Very good. Very
The
good.
3 G's of
The
burlesque.
3 G's of burlesque. Very
You're
good.
missing G-string. There's 4.
Oh,
There's
right.
4
Yes,
G's.
yes,
That's
yes.
right.
My
Yeah,
apologies. So when are the workshops happening?
Mm-hmm.
Saturday, 1:00 at
At Bella Dance Studio.
Oh, at Bella.
Okay.
Very nice.
And so, I mean, this, like Jesse said right off the top, the Yellowknife community has really, over the last, however many years it's been, the last decade, really embraced burlesque since the burlesque brand started its run, which is still going strong. And lots of people have kind of found themselves a bit of a passion in burlesque. So I was just kind of wondering, is this, like you mentioned, that this is kind of something you're throwing in as a thank you to the performers in the Soulful Bodies this weekend. Mm-hmm. Is this open to like anyone to come join?
Absolutely. It's open to not only other people that are interested in burlesque, but other performing artists.
Okay.
The Get That Gig workshop really applies across the board. It's really how to market yourself, how to get yourself prepared, and how to reach out both locally and if you would like to travel and perform.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
And again, developing character and story, not only open to burlesque, but for like any kind of dance or any kind of performing.
Absolutely.
Really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool.
Awesome. Yeah, we've heard a lot of stories over the years of people who, whether they were born and raised in Yellowknife or moved here from somewhere else and, maybe just like needed something to kind of break out of their shell a little bit. And a lot of found that in burlesque and performing on stage. And it's been a really positive experience for a lot of people.
It definitely helps you unleash your inner diva.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think that's the big thing. And that there's a huge support network in burlesque, but also in Yellowknife for burlesque as well. So that's been very cool. And you see, like you said, seeing a lot of people that you wouldn't expect to see up there, get up there and just kind of transform right before your eyes, which is very
kind
cool.
of a great equalizer.
Yes, absolutely. And I've toyed with the notion of dipping my toe into this because every time I go to one of these shows, I'm like, I kind of want to do this. I kind of want to get up there.
I don't know if your toes are quite sexy enough.
They are not.
They are. I mean, that's the beautiful thing. Is it's open to interpretation.
I may need to get a pedicure if I'm going to do that. Absolutely. But I think there's one of these shows that maybe, I don't know, might be doing something for. I don't know.
Maybe we'll see you on a stage sometime soon.
We'll see what happens.
Jesse on stage?
What?
No. Come on.
But I mean, this would be very different for me. I've done performing. Obviously, I've done theater shows and musicals and things like this. But this would be something very, very different and a huge challenge. And I think I'm going to do it.
Right.
It's your next step.
That's right. My next step is developing as a performer. Okay. So, and the workshops are they? How much are the workshops?
So the workshops are $25 for one, but if you take both workshops, it's only $45.
There you go.
And you can get you can either register online at Brown Paper Tickets.
Okay.
We've posted the link on the Soulful Bodies event and on our Parkas and Pasties Facebook page. But if you're a last minute Yellowknifer, you can also come and pay cash at the door for either of the workshops.
Nice. All right. And can you pay? Are there going to be tickets at the door for the shows as well?
There will be very limited tickets at the door. So we will have some available. But if you want to secure that seat and beat the rush, you're going to want to grab yours now.
Absolutely. All right. It's going to be a fantastic show. Can you tell us a few more of the performers that are going to be in it?
We have resident DJ at Cabin Radio, a Temptress, is going to be in the show.
Yeah.
We have Mistress Frostbite, who's a longtime fave vocalist from Burr that we're lucky to have in our cast. Myself, I will be performing. And we have the debut burlesque performance of Felicia Keys. You will not want to miss that.
Nice. And is there a Candy Canoodle in there somewhere too?
It's Carly Canoodle. Carly Canoodle is one of our stage kittens and will be assisting our production manager, Miss D. And together they are getting more done than we could ever do in a day.
And rave reviews for it. Awesome. All right. So if you want to learn about the 4 G's of burlesque, what were they again? Glitter, glamour, giggles, and G-strings. You can go to the top night this weekend, Friday and Saturday. Tickets are how much?
Tickets are $30 general admission. We still have 1 or 2 VIP tables left for $160 for 4 folks. You get a fun goodie bag and a good view with that.
And you're in the glitter splash zone, I imagine?
No, those are the Glitterati tables, which are unfortunately sold out. You missed your chance. You'll have to wait till next year.
Not unfortunately for you guys. That's great. This is awesome. All right. So it's going to be a fantastic time. These shows are always so much fun. So if you want to go down to the top night, Friday and Saturday, brownpapertickets.com, or if you want to risk it, you can try to get them at the door. 80 Champagne, thank you so much for joining us this morning. It's going to be a great show this weekend. Go check it out. Thanks again.
Thank you.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast.
Spring is in the air. Elsewhere, not here. It's minus 2.2, but usually in spring, love blossoms, right? In Yellowknife, everybody gets out of their committed relationships that they had over the winter because they were with somebody warm.
That's right.
And now it's spring.
Yeah.
It's time to go to the bar, have beers on patios, and just see what happens.
It's too hot in the bed now.
It's too hot in this bed. Get out.
Get that warm meat sack out of there. Make some room for yourself.
That's right.
Spring breakup.
Spring breakups. Absolutely.
So on Monday, I know you weren't here.
I wasn't. I was sleeping.
Yeah.
It's glorious.
Ollie decided that we should put out a call for some proposal stories.
Why?
I think because it was spring.
Okay,
he also had a fantastic proposal story from an extended family member.
Oh, nice.
Which, if you want to go back and listen to the podcast,
I don't.
It was great.
No, I only listen.
Happened on a bog walk.
I only listen to the ones that I'm in, so I can improve.
So we were looking for some potential other marriage proposal stories. Some, of a wackier, quirky nature.
Okay.
So my mom, who is a regular listener to the podcast, not of the live morning show, which worked out really well on Friday when I blew her Mother's Day surprise live on the air.
Hi, Lynn.
She listened to the Monday podcast yesterday, got in touch and said, we have a pretty good proposal story.
Ooh.
And I was thinking about it. I was like, you know what? I don't know if I've ever actually heard their proposal stories. So I was like, yeah, by all means, send it to me in an email. It'd be really fun to do. And she teased it by saying they got pulled over.
Nice.
So here is the Lekter's parents' proposal story.
Are you going to do this, or do I have to turn up a fader?
Do you have to what?
Do I have to turn up a fader, or are you
turn up a fader?
Yeah,
no, she didn't record it.
Oh, okay.
No, come on now. I mean, you could put on some romantic music if you want. You were
kind of like, here is the story, and click. You know what I mean?
Well, I didn't know.
I'll stop interrupting.
You can.
Sorry about that.
You can put some music on if you want to set the mood. I'm okay with that.
Okay, start the story.
Okay. So Gary, which is my father's name, Gary and I had been going together for over a year, which I love that opening because
Going
she's
together.
already
Come on and go.
already giving you a timestamp on when about this occurred.
That's right.
We'd been going together for over a year and had talked about getting married. We looked at rings, etc., but at the time, I wasn't much of a jewelry fan, mainly because I was always losing stuff, so I didn't push it for something fancy. Oh, there we go. Nice. Very nice. Innocent. Romantic. That is perfect. Okay.
The Dell Vikings.
Wow, 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 wow.
All right, keep going.
Sorry. The week before my birthday, Gary booked a dinner at a really nice restaurant. So she knew something was up.
Oh, yes, because usually Gary is not on point with these things.
Not Gary's way. He's a keg man.
Going to Salisbury House, babe.
That's a great Winnipeg reference,
by
the way. Because we were just recent grads and didn't have a whole lot of extra money. Unfortunately, that same week, a cousin of Gary's dad had passed away.
Yeah.
All of the family was gathered for the funeral, so Gary's cousin Frank asked if he could borrow Gary's car, which had bench seats, room to spare, to chauffeur family members around, and Gary could use Frank's little Mazda for his date, which, pretty good trade-off there.
Yeah.
Sexy little Mazda you get to rip around
Absolutely.
in. So Gary picked me up and drove to his house where we switched cars with Frank. Unfortunately, Frank's car was a standard shift.
Ooh.
Manual transmission.
Gary couldn't drive stick?
Now, Gary had driven standard trucks at work, but this little stick shift gave him trouble. We bumped down the back lane and turned onto the main street and continued to bump along. He finally figured out how to get it into second, but every time he did and stepped on the gas, the car would stall. We got about 200 feet down the road, and a police officer pulled up alongside and waved us over. At the window, the cop asked Gary if he was having trouble. Gary explained that he was having trouble with the shift and the car kept stalling. So the cop looks at him and says, "Move over." So I move to the back seat, Gary moves to the passenger seat, and the cop takes the wheel. Starts it, pulls away at a good clip, shifts into second and roars down the street. Shifts into third, flies around the block, ending up back behind his police car. He turns to Gary and says, "There's nothing wrong with the car. Is it yours?" As we all get out and shifted seats, Gary went into the whole story about the funeral and his cousin trading cars. Yeah, likely story. And And then I heard him quietly say to the cop, "We have reservations at the Old Swiss Inn, and I'm going to propose." And the cop says, "Okay." She overheard him. Yeah, he's my dad's a slick customer. So the cop says, "Okay, make sure you fully release the clutch before hitting the gas, and you should be okay."
Okay, that's nothing.
And he sent us on our way.
Wow.
Gary got the hang of the car a few blocks later. Apparently, he'd been watching the cop's technique intently, and we had a lovely dinner, and he proposed to me, and he even had a ring. I was tempted to say that I could never marry a man who couldn't drive a stick shift, but then figured that might be too cruel.
That would have been awesome.
And that he had suffered enough for one evening. 40 years later, I still remember that evening and chuckle.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
That's a great story.
And they are celebrating their 40-year wedding anniversary this August.
Wow.
Yeah.
You going to go for that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Of course. What do you think I am?
I don't know.
Yeah, I guess I should probably book a flight.
Should probably book that flight.
But there
That's
you
a
go.
wonderful story.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Kind of sounds like the cop was trying to pull some move on your mom there, though. Just like, let me get in and do this.
Let me show you how it's done.
There's nothing wrong with your car. You sure it isn't you, buddy?
Yeah. And then by the end, he's like, "Oh, you're proposing? Well, all right. I guess it's too late."
I guess I'll just give you a ticket. But you can be on your way.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
I'm going to propose to her. You have to let me. She can't hear me. My mouth is covered.
"I just bought a ring. I can't afford a speeding ticket." Speeding.
Speeding.
Yeah, no.
Lack of clutch control.
Yeah.
Oh, Gary. Well done.
So if you have any marriage proposal stories you'd like us to have fun with on the air,
Yeah.
mailbox at cabinradio.ca.
There you go. Absolutely.
Springtime is the time.
You know what? And I don't know my parents' story. If my
Oh, we
mother's
gotta hear
listening.
it.
Yeah, no, Mom, if you're listening, send me an email with the proposal story. Probably, I don't know. My dad was probably like, "We should live in a houseboat." She's like, "Hell no." I was like, "Well, I guess we'll get married then." I'm like, "All right."
Babs, same thing.
Yeah, same thing for you, Babs. And I do have one. I just asked a girl to marry me when I was like 18, and she said no. That never happened. I'm sorry. I made that up. Thank you to the Dell Vikings for underscoring that wonderful story.
Thanks for listening. Check out more from the show at cabinradio.ca.